podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, show recaps prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
What's up, everybody? It's EVP from the EVP Show. We are live for your TNA Impact Recap Show. Hopefully, we won't have any interruptions tonight. We have really bad weather here, so the Wi-Fi is not working as great as I wanted to. I had a couple interruptions when I was trying to just start, so hopefully we're able to get through this. But we're live, guys. I missed out with you guys last Thursday for TNA Impact. We are 10 days away from TNA's anniversary in Boston, Massachusetts, which will be June the 28th. A lot of PLEs. AEW Forbidden Door is on the 28th, I believe, as well. And NXT Great American Bash. So 3 PLEs coming up. Then you have Night of Champions on the 27th. So a lot going on. A lot happened tonight on the show. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch last week. I had a really bad toothache last week, so I wasn't able to tune in. Kind of got caught up before the show. They didn't really announce anything for the Go Home show next week for TNA. No matches were announced for the Go Home show, which is pretty rare. Normally they have some kind of schedule, but maybe something comes out tomorrow, so I don't have any of the matches for next week. And then next week is the Go Home show, obviously, as I said. And I'll go over next week. I'll go over the full match card for TNA's anniversary coming up, which will be June the 28th, 2026, from Boston, Massachusetts. So a lot of TNA has been in the news quite a bit for several people. Either asked for a release or contracts run out, whatever. Tessa Blanchard obviously was the last one. So, and then some news broke today about TNA going into a partnership with the smaller promotions. So it's all about keeping all these places going at the end of the day. So hopefully they can get it figured out. Obviously, we saw the head of creative parted ways, Tommy Dreamer. So they gotta get somebody in there for creative, I'm sure. But that's a big loss. Tommy has been around wrestling for a long time. So, but we'll go ahead and get started. Once again, this is your TNA Impact recap show, Thursday, June 18th, 2026. I guess one of the most frustrating parts about TNA is majority of their shows are taped. You can catch a live show every once in a while. So this is another tape show. This taping took place at the CoBank Arena in Denver, Colorado. Tonight's show is going to feature a couple of multiple 6-man tags, the return to the ring of Ricky Sosa, who is definitely a star, somebody that any promotion can build around. And then we're going to get the King's Speech segment featuring Cedric Alexander, Leon Slater, and the self-proclaimed king himself, Frankie Kazarian. So a lot going on tonight. So just a couple of changes that have transpired in TNA. I believe it was Ali that re-signed today with TNA. The company granted Tessa Blanchard her request to leave again. Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan have parted ways with the company as well. Rumor has it the company is looking to bring in Brian Armstrong aka Road Dogg, to come in to do creative. TNA is also in talks to partner with ABW. I thought they were already partnering with them, but hopefully they can get that sorted out. So we're also going to see Elena Black go one-on-one with Indy Hartwell after defeating Elena Black due to a disqualification finish forced by Ariana Grace. Indy Hartwell requested a rematch with Elena Black. Oh my gosh, my phone is a crowd. Sorry about that. So Indy requested a rematch with Elena from Santana Marella, who approved it and is booked for tonight. After returning last week after being put on the shelf by Eric Young, Ricky Sosa cost Eric Young his World Heavyweight title match tonight. Ricky Sosa returns to the ring. TNA International Champion Mustafa Ali in the good hands will face TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana. Is the number one contender and his challenger for TNA Slammiversary, Nick Nemeth and Casey Navarro. Both Moose and Matt and Jeff Hardy will return to the ring after missing some time, respectively, to challenge the system members Eddie Edwards and tag team champions Bear Bronson and Brian Myers. Ahead of her match for the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship at TNA Slammiversary, we will see Xia Brookside. She will be speaking in the ring with her upcoming match against Li Ying Li for the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship next Sunday at TNA Slammiversary. In conjunction with their match next Sunday in the Ultimate X, Frankie Kazarian will host a King's Speech segment with X Division Champion Cedric Alexander and Leon Slater. So let's go ahead and get started. This is from the Code Bank Arena in Denver, Colorado. As always, Tom Hannafin and Matthew Rewall are on the call commentary. So we opened up with a video package featuring the matches and the big moments from last week on TNA Impact. Tom Hannafin welcomes us to the show, and we get the number one contender for the Women's TNA Knockouts Championship. Xia Brookside is out to open the show. Fans were booing her. She gets a microphone. She said, "Listen, to all of you, you people actually think that I did something wrong. You all act like I committed some unforgivable crime because I turned on poor little Li Ying Li. I hurt her feelings." Xia says, "The Angel Warriors was supposed to be about me becoming a star. Every single week it became about Li Ying Li. She should have done this." Xia says she should have done this a long time ago. What's going on, Peter? He says Clash of Champions in Peru, Colombia, Somalia, and Turkey. It's in Saudi Arabia. She said that she should have done this a long time ago. She said, "But you want to know what my favorite part is?" She said it was the look on her face, the puppy dog eyes. The whole world had been shattered. She loved it. Li Ying Li didn't even see it coming. Why? Because Li Ying Li is a dumbass. And at TNA Slammiversary, I take what should have been mine a long time ago, and that is the TNA Women's Knockout Championship. So then, without further ado, her opponent and the TNA Women's Knockouts Champion, Li Ying Li, comes out. She gets on. She has a microphone. She says she treated her. She tells Xia Brookside that she treated her like a sister. She fought beside her. She sees who Xia Brookside is now. She says she is a snake. She said, "No, no, no. She is a rat." She said something in Mandarin. I didn't understand what she said. Xia Brookside says she doesn't even know what the Ying Li just said. Said, I'm not going to be your translator anymore. Li Ying Li then said she doesn't need a translator anymore. She said, what she said in Mandarin was, she says she isn't waiting for Slammiversary. She's going to kick her ass right now. Called her the B word, which I don't say here on stream. And once she said that, we get a brawl between the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion and the number one contenders, Xia Brookside. The fans boo and security shows up and they chant, let them fight. I agree. They separate the legs, but Li Ying Li ends up kicking a couple of the security guards and suplex another one. Xia Brookside grabs Li Ying Li by the hair, but Li Ying Li fights her off and she looks to powerbomb her, but instead she heads to the top rope. Xia Brookside shoves one of the security guards in the way. Li Ying Li hits him with a neck breaker from the top. So that was that segment. As the two ladies get ready for their big TNA Women's Knockouts Championship match at Slammiversary coming up next Sunday from Boston, Massachusetts. So Gia Miller's in the back with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana. Gia says that per the order of Daria Ray, that Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth cannot lay hands on each other from bell to bell tonight in the six-man tag match. Mike Santana says he should have trusted his gut because Nick Nemeth showed him that he has the B word in him. He said, but he is a pro. He will work with him tonight, but at Slammiversary, he's going to rip his heart out. He will force him to eat it. And then their partner tonight in the six-man tag is Casey Navarro. He shows up and he says he understands the situation between Mike and Nick Nemeth, but tonight they need to focus on Mustafa Ali and the Order 4. Mike Santana says he knows what is best for business and he will take care of that tonight. Tom Hennepin on commentary, so that match will open the show. They also did a friendly reminder that TNA Lockdown is coming to Chicago, Illinois on August the 23rd. So the first match of the night is going to be the six-man tag match with Order 4 going up against the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana, Nick Nemeth, and Casey Navarro. Order 4 is out first. Tom Hennepin mentions that Mustafa Ali's TNA International Championship title defense out of Slammiversary is going to be an open challenge, but depending on how this tag match will work, Ali could find himself in the world title match if Nick Nemeth or Mike Santana. Daria Ray said if one of them put their hands on each other from bell to bell, that Mustafa Ali would be added or would take Nick Nemeth's spot for that TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So as I said, this is the TNA International Champion Mustafa Ali in the good hands versus TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana, Nick Nemeth, and Casey Navarro. The bell rings. Mike Santana and Scholar are going to start this, but no, Nick Nemeth tags himself in instead. Nick Nemeth wrestles Scholar to the mat. He grabs wrist control. He goes over and teases a tag to Mike Santana, but he tags Casey Navarro instead. Casey Navarro has to get in between Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth, which allows the Order 4 to attack them. Nick Nemeth, Mike Santana, and Casey Navarro turn the tables, and Mike Santana power bombs Scholar out of the ring and onto Hotch and Mustafa Ali. Fans are chanting, "This is awesome," as we get a brawl around the ringside area. It's down to Casey Navarro and Scholar in the ring, where Casey Navarro hits a drop kick. Scholar manages to take in Hotch, but him and Ali hit a double rolling neck breaker to Casey Navarro. Ali goes to the pinfall, but Casey kicks out at 2. Mustafa Ali chokes Casey Navarro against the second rope, and Tasha Steelz from Warner Ford. There, ringside sneaks in to choke Casey Navarro. This happens again, except this time the referee catches her. And then the referee ejects both Tasha Steelz and Special Agent Zero from the match. Order 4 continued to work over Casey Navarro. Skylar clobbers Navarro with a lariat, goes for the pin, but he still kicks out at 2. Skylar pummels Casey Navarro with punches. And then we go to a commercial break. We get back from break. The Good Hands take Mike Santana off the apron. They help Mustafa Ali hit Casey Navarro with a triple power bomb. Ali goes for the pin, but Casey kicks out at 2. Casey Navarro fights back with a cutter, and he tags in Mike Santana because Nick Nemeth was taken off the apron by Skylar. Mike Santana and Hotch are at it now. Mike Santana takes care of him and hits a toe to Mustafa Ali and Skylar on the floor. Back in the ring, Mike Santana wants to spin the block, but Nick Nemeth tags himself in. He hits the Famouser on Hotch, but Jason kicks out at 2. Nick Nemeth and Mike Santana get into another argument, which again allows Order 4 to attack. Great Hands hit Nick Nemeth with an assist neckbreaker from the top, but the pinfall is broken up at 2 by Casey Navarro. Casey spikes Mustafa Ali on the floor with a DDT. That's a Great Hands go after Nick Nemeth again. But Santana saves him from danger there. And then Mike Santana hits the rolling buck 50 to both Skylar and Hotch. So then Nick Nemeth hits them both with the danger zone. And then both Nick Nemeth and Mike Santana both hit their finisher move and get the pinfall at the same time. And they have a stare down while they're pinning them. So the winner of the match is Mike Santana, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. His challenger for TNA Slammiversary, Nick Nemeth and Casey Navarro. The length of the match was around 9 minutes 39, 9 minutes 40 seconds. For me, my thoughts on this match, Mustafa Ali, Casey Navarro are becoming one of my favorite feuds in TNA at the moment. Pretty decent match. After the match, the argument continued between Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth, but out comes Nick Nemeth's brother, Ryan, to attack Mike Santana. Casey Navarro tries to stop Ryan from doing this, but Mike Santana ends up laying out Casey Navarro by accident. Nick then hits Mike Santana with a super kick. He stared at the world title before collecting his trophy. Matthew Rehwald, after the match, Matthew Rehwald runs down the rest of the card to let us know, and he lets us know that the King's speech is coming up next with Frankie Kazarian. So we get a friendly reminder that TNA Slammiversary is coming to Boston next Sunday with a pre-show time of 3 p.m. and the main show start time is at 4 p.m. Eastern next Sunday. So then we go to the back. We see Casey Navarro, who is trying to recover from the damage that happened to him after the 6-man tag match. Here comes Nick Nemeth to check on him. Casey says that Santana didn't mean to do it. Ryan Nemeth shows up, and he says that Casey deserved it. Mike Santana shows up with security holding him back. Get some cuss words between Mike Santana and Nick and Ryan Nemeth. And then Ryan and Nick take off. Mike Santana asks KC if he's good. He says he is, and he tells Mike Santana to don't worry about it. He knows it was an accident. To focus on TNA Slammiversary. So we go to the next segment of the night. The self-proclaimed king himself, wearing the TNA X shirt, a new TNA X shirt, Ultimate X Match shirt. I'm sorry. Frankie Kazarian is here. He is ready to do the King's speech. So he gets on the microphone and he says, "Welcome to a new edition of the greatest talk show in the land, the King's Speech. He is our host, the King of TNA, Frankie Kazarian. He mentioned that sorry about that. I apologize for that, guys. Phone's being stupid. That my internet's really bad here right now. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so welcome to the new edition of the greatest talk show on the land, the King's Speech. Here's a host, the King of TNA, Frankie Kazarian. He mentioned that the Ultimate X match is returning next Sunday. He is wearing the Ultimate X match shirt. He said he would tell us about it because these morons up here don't get any information. He created the Ultimate X match, and he has participated in one more match than anyone else here. So just remember that when you throw your grubby and filthy hands in the air, this is all because of me. He thanks us before introducing the boy from Bradford himself, former TNA X Division champion, the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, the boy from Bradford. Leon Slater makes his way out. Tom on the commentary team says he has been told that this is Leon Slater's contractual rematch. That's a little bit, it's a little tilted, I'd say. Frankie then welcomed Leon Slater to the show before introducing the new TNA X Division champion, Cedric Alexander, from the system. Cedric Alexander comes out with the title. He is all grins. Frankie says he has stools for the guys to sit on, but he'd rather they didn't. Frankie asked Leon about being one day short of history. He knows Leon is a big Frankie Kazarian fan. This man, Cedric Alexander, took that all away from him by beating him one day shy of the record. Leon Slater said he would be lying if he said it did hurt. Then Cedric Alexander interrupts with laughter, and he says he is glad he is hurt. Leon Slater tells him to shut up before he comes over and slaps his face off. Frank Kazarian tells them to be gentlemen, but he says, I'm the only gentleman here tonight. Leon says that Cedric doesn't understand what it's like to have his family watch him from 5,000 miles away, to have an entire culture on his back, but he isn't making any excuses because Cedric Alexander beat him fair and square. Cedric then says that's because his prime Alexander. Everyone has told Leon since he came here that he has all the talent and all the promise in the world, but it doesn't matter to him because no one is going to remember Leon's reign because he came up one day short. Leon shoves Cedric, steals his title belt as Frankie tries to break it up. He says, you won't give this to the marks for free. Talking to the fans. So save it for TNA's anniversary. Speaking of that, Frankie said he talked to his good friend Daria Ray, and he has an announcement that he will be entering the Ultimate X match next Sunday. And so the commentators say that this will be the first time in 15 years that Frankie will partake in Ultimate X. So that match will take place at TNA's anniversary. So the injury report, which I do every single week, comes to us courtesy of the Zonify. Casey Navarro aggravated his knee injury tonight. Is being re-evaluated. Should be good for next week. The TNA Women's Knockouts champion, Li Yingli, suffered a chipped tooth in the Raw earlier tonight, but she should be good to go for Slammiversary. Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardys, have been cleared to compete after recovering from the effects of the Wicked Garden match a couple weeks ago. Ricky Sosa will be up next. But before that, After the break, we go to AJ Francis. Looks to be a Inside the Music special about the rise of this music mogul. He says he was hurt when Elijah wanted to collab with him. He knows that people want to make it in music, make it to the NFL, and become a professional wrestler, but he said he's done all of that. He said when he was young, he read about Suge Knight, and he realized that was who he wanted to be. He said when Elijah didn't want to work with him, it hurt him in his heart. So he said, so he looked up his catalog, and he now is a music mogul. The man who owns the music of the man who doesn't deserve to be here, says AJ Francis. He wants to be the inspiration to other music moguls who have baby music moguls who know their rights. He said, and if being a music mogul is wrong, then he doesn't want to be right, says AJ Francis. So good segment there from AJ Francis. So we're gonna go to the next matchup of the night. This is my second time to see him wrestle. He hasn't been on the show much. It is the Bang Bang Sosa man. Ricky Sosa goes one-on-one with Dak Draper. It was, I don't know who said it. The commentary man said that apparently Dak Draper won the breakout star in Ring of Honor a few years ago. Eric Young, the opponent for Ricky Sosa at TNA Silent Virtue, was here for the commentary. So Ricky Sosa and Dak Draper come out. Ricky Sosa gets a huge ovation from the fans in Denver. So both men in the ring. Draper works a headlock at the beginning of the bell. Ricky Sosa sends him off, but Draper hits him with a shoulder tackle. Both men do leapfrogs. Draper then trips Ricky Sosa. Dak does a cartwheel, but Ricky Sosa drop kicks him. Draper sends off Sosa, but Ricky jumps from the second rope, hits Draper with a crossbody and goes for a pin. But Ricky kicks out at 2. Ricky is looking for a suplex, but Draper escapes, kicks Sosa in the midsection. He kicks Sosa when he is down and hits him in the back. Draper then hits a knee drop to Ricky Sosa, but Sosa reverses his whip and hits his own hip toss. That sends Draper from the ring. So Ricky Sosa takes off and hits a crossbody to Draper. Eric Young then gets up from the announce desk, but nothing ended up happening from that. Ricky Sosa's on the apron, but Draper sweeps out his legs. He catapults Ricky Sosa into the bottom rope. Draper hits a lariat, and then he poses to the crowd. Draper then goes for a scoop slam. He hits a scoop slam, and he tries to pin Ricky Sosa, but Sosa kicks out at 1. Draper's looking for another scoop slam, but Ricky sneaks out the back door and chops Dak Draper. And Ricky Sosa off the rope, but he runs into a power slam from Draper, which gets him. He goes for the pin. Ricky kicks out at 2. Draper then hits the gut wrench, but Ricky escapes. Goes for the gut wrench, but Ricky escapes and hits a Trouble in Paradise, similar to Kofi Kingston-like kick. And then he released German suplex from Ricky Sosa, and he lines up not 1 but 2 corner uppercuts to Dak Draper. Ricky goes for the third one, but Dak Draper cuts it off. He snaps a Hurricane Rana instead. Ricky Sosa heads to the top rope, hits a missile drop kick. He picks up Draper and hits the Blue Thunder Bang for the 1, 2, 3. Winner is Ricky Sosa. The time of the match was about 5 minutes, 48 seconds. Good match. Eric Young stands up after the match and claps his hands. Ricky Sosa stares him down as both men are getting ready for their showdown next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern from Boston, Massachusetts, and at TNA Slammiversary. So then we go to the back. The Elegance brand are in the back. They're standing outside the door. Personal concierge finally works up the nerve to knock on the door. Daria Ray steps out. He tells Daria Ray that he heard their spots open in the Ultimate X division. Ultimate X, I'm sorry. And he has the perfect person for a spot in Mr. Elegance. Asked by Elegance reiterates that Mr. Elegance is absolutely perfect. Diary Ray says she doesn't go off what the talent tells her, she goes off her own notes and reports. But she does agree to put Mr. Elegance in the Ultimate X match. She takes off, and then Indy Hartwell shows up, but she accidentally bumps into Ash by Elegance. Indy asks if they have a problem, but Ash says she was going to wish Indy well in her match. Indy Hartwell walks on, and they make fun of her. So Mr. Elegance was added to the Ultimate X match with Frankie Kazarian and the others. Cedric Alexander and Leon Slater. I believe there's one more. I don't have it that with me right now. Another friendly reminder that Slammiversary will be live next Sunday from Boston. Starts at 3 p.m. for the pre-show and 4 p.m. Eastern for the main show. So it is now time for some TNA Women's Knockouts action with Elena Black going one-on-one with Indy Hartwell. And Mark Sade is out there on commentary. So Elena Black comes out first. Then we get Indy Hartwell. So both ladies are in the ring. Elena Black talks smack to Indy Hartwell at the bell, but Indy catches both of her arms when she tries to slap her. She headbutts Elena Black and sends her in the corner. Indy she hooks the ropes and kicks Indy Hartwell. Indy fires back with a big boot to the face, goes for a pinfall, but Elena kicks out at 2. Indy slams Elena Black's face and first in the corner. Indy sends Elena off the ropes, but Hartwell then goes for the charge. Elena Black hits her from behind with an enziguri. Then Elena Black yells at the fans. She slams Indy face first to the mat. Off the rope, Elena Black with a double stomp off the ropes and goes for a pin, but Indy kicks out at 2. Elena Black applies the dreaded chin lock. Then Hartwell gets to her feet. Elena takes her back down to the mat. Indy Hartwell eventually countered with the snapmare. Elena Black lays. I swear. I apologize, guys. The way we have hurricane type weather here. Take me just a minute. I'm trying to reboot my. Sorry about that, guys. Do apologize. Go see where I was at. Okay, she has at the band. She slams Indy face first. The mat off the ropes. Elena Black hits the double stomp off the rope. 2 count. Positive dreaded chin lock. Indy Hartwell gets her free, but Elena takes her back down to the mat. Indy Hartwell eventually counters with a snapmare, but Elena Black lays her out with a lariat. Goes 2, but Indy kicks out. Elena Black chokes Indy with her boot. She misses a running charge. Indy Hartwell rolls her up for only a count of 2. Indy lays in, hits 2 clotheslines, hits a spine buster. Elena kicks out at 2. Then out comes the personal concierge and Ash by Elegance are on the ramp. Indy Hartwell is looking out to the personal concierge and Ash by Elegance on the ramp. Indy Hartwell gets distracted. Elena Black comes from behind and hits her in the back of the head with an elbow. Now Elena Black is distracted when the personal concierge and Ash by Elegance make their way to the ring. And Elena Black has words for Ash by Elegance. Elena Black is distracted. She begins to jaw with the personal concierge and Ash by Elegance. Ash by Elegance then climbs on the apron, but then Mara Sade pulls her off the apron. During all the confusion, Indy Hartwell pins Elena Black with the backslide. Indy Hartwell gets the win due to the distraction of Ash by Elegance. Match was about 4 minutes and 45, 4 minutes and 50 seconds, something like that. According to my notes, both of these ladies' last 2 matches, neither one of them went over 5 minutes. So that's interesting there. After the match, Ashby Elegance and Elena Black attack Indy Hartwell. Then Mark Sade joins in to even up the score. Then Mark Sade ends up taking out Ashby Elegance and Elena Black, and then Elena Black and Ashby Elegance take off, and Indy Hartwell has one of Ashby Elegance's heels in the ring. Interesting stuff there. They definitely need to let those ladies go a lot longer, though. So then we go to the backs. We see Santina Marella in the back on his phone, and then we get Fabian Aichner, who just made his TNA debut a few weeks ago. And he says, and he will be in the Division X match as well. Fabian Aichner is here, and he says that after what he has been through with the system, he is asking Italian to Italian for Santino to put him in the Ultimate X match. Santino says that Daria put Mr. Elephants. Santino called Mr. Elegance Mr. Elephants. Santino says Daria put Mr. Elephants in the match early. So he said he's going to give Fabian Aichner what he wants. He will be added to Ultimate X match. So then we see Nick Nemeth. He kisses Santino's starts to try to kiss Santino's rear end before asking him to consider putting Casey Navarro in the Ultimate X match as well, and Santino Marella agrees. Fabian Aichner then wants to know what Nick Nemeth's problem is. So Casey Navarro, Fabian Aichner, Casey Navarro will be in the Ultimate X match along with Fabian Aichner, Casey Navarro, Cedric Alexander, Leon Slater, and Frankie Kazarian. And Mr. Elegance will all be in the Ultimate X match next Sunday live at TNA Slammiversary. So then the announcers let us know that the six-man tag match is coming up with the system going against Matt and Jeff Hardy and Moose. They also inform us that the total field for the Ultimate X match is set, as it will feature TNA X Division champion Cedric Alexander, former champion Leon Slater, Frankie Kazarian, Fabian Aichner, Casey Navarro, and Mr. Elegance. So then we go back to Gia. She said that tonight is the first time that we're seeing the Hardys after the Wicked Garden match. But Mike Santana hijacks the camera. He said he is sick and tired of Nick Nemeth and his games, so he is calling him out for it later tonight. So then the Hardys make their way, followed by Moose. Moose's music plays, but it cuts off and continues playing the Hardy piano theme. Moose is also dressed up like a broken Hardy. That's team chemistry there. So then we get to Eddie Edwards, Bear Bronson, and Brian Myers. Bear Bronson and Brian Myers are the TNA Tag Team Champions. Accompanied to the ring by Alicia Edwards, Eddie's wife. So we're getting the system versus the Broken Hardys and Moose. Eddie Edwards, Bear Bronson, and Brian Myers represent the system with Alicia. So Moose wants to start this match for Eddie. Eddie tags in Brian Myers instead. Brian wants him to back off before he gets into the ring. And then they go to a lockup, but he says he wants Broken Matt instead. So Moose tags in Matt Hardy. They lock up. Brian Myers tries to wrist control, but Matt looks at him funny. Matt takes the arm of Brian Myers and deletes his arm out of existence. Matt Hardy beats. Goes to pummel Brian Myers in the corner. He kicks him in the gut and then proceeds to delete him out of existence again. Turnbuckle by turnbuckle. Then he gets and then Matt Hardy makes the tag to Jeff as they hit Brian Myers with a double team face buster. Then Barry Bronson comes in with the Hardys hit him with a double suplex and hit Poetry in motion. Eddie Edwards takes his men to the floor. They look to regroup. Brian Myers gets into the ring. He wants a test of strength with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy kicks him in the gut and he tags in Matt. Matt goes to the top rope. He does the finger taunt. He hits a double axe to the arm of Brian Myers. Jeff's turn now as he classifies Brian Myers' arm as obsolete. So then Moose gets on action. Moose takes a cheap shot at Eddie Edwards before tagging in Matt. Matt takes Brian Myers to 3 of the 4 corners and rams his head into the top turnbuckle in each corner. He tags in Jeff. Matt catapults Brian Myers to the bottom rope. Jeff hits a leg drop. Jeff goes for the pin, but Myers is out at 2. Then Jeff corners Brian as he does. He pushes Jeff corners Brian and he does the 10 punches. Then Alicia Edwards gets on the apron, pushes Jeff away, which allows Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers to attack Jeff. Barry Bonson then begins to whirl away on Jeff Hardy on the apron before he is returned to the ring. The crowd is chanting, "We want tables," as Eddie Edwards grabs Jeff by the nose and he says, "I got your nose, Jeff." He didn't really say that. So then we go to a short break. Come back from break. Eddie hits Jeff with a headbutt. Alicia Edwards chokes Jeff behind the referee's back. Matt is mad. Eddie Edwards and Barry Bonson hit a double team shoulder tackle to Jeff Hardy. Eddie keeps shoving, and then he slaps Moose. Moose loses his cool and he power bombs Eddie Edwards on the ring apron. Barry Bonson hits a scoop slam to Jeff Hardy. He looks mad, so he pounds away on Jeff Hardy before trying to pin him, but only gets a count of 2. Brian Myers with the tag. He launches Barry Bonson into Jeff in their corner. So then Brian Myers hits a Michinoku driver, but Jeff is out at 2. Brian Myers with the dreaded chinlock as we see Eddie crawling around the ring back to his corner. Jeff then hits a jawbreaker. Brian Myers hits a back elbow. He takes the referee, allowing Barry Bonson the chance to well away at Jeff Hardy. The fans are chanting, "Ref, you suck." Brian Myers does. He runs into Jeff in the middle of the ring. Eddie Edwards grabs Jeff to try to keep him from the tag. He can't, and now we get Moose tagged in. He is on the run. He headbutts Eddie Edwards, hits Barry Bonson with the lariat. Eddie Edwards headbutts him, but Moose hits him with another lariat. He kicks Brian Myers in the face. And then we get Barry Bonson. Moose takes him out of the ring. He hits a slingshot crossbody. Back in the ring, Moose hits Eddie Edwards with a go to hell. But Brian Myers breaks up the pinfall. The system run the corner clothesline. Moose. Brian Myers hits a kick. Eddie Edwards with the Falcon Arrow, but Moose kicks out at 2. Tries to go for the Boston Knee Party, but Moose intercepts Eddie, only to end up hitting. Eddie hits only to eat a choke bomb from Barry Bonson. Matt hits him with the side effect. Brian Myers then takes out Matt. Jeff hits Brian Myers with the twist of fate. Then we cut to the entrance route, where we see the Righteous are here with a ladder. Hardy then hits the plot twist on Brian Myers. Barry Bonson gets taken to the floor and he pulls Jeff out of the ring and headbutts him. Alicia Edwards gets on the apron to taunt Moose. Eddie charges in. He almost runs into Alicia. Eddie ends up throwing Moose into the ropes where Alicia hits him in the head with a kendo stick, all behind the referee's back. Eddie Edwards then hits the Boston Knee Party to Moose for the 1, 2, 3. So the winners of the match is the System. They defeated Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Moose. Match went about 14 minutes and 25 seconds. After the match, the System celebrate. Brian Myers and Barry Bonson turn their attention to the ramp where the Righteous, Vincent, and Dutch are on the ramp. Will be a triple threat for the tag team championship. Brian Myers and Barry Bonson will defend against the Hardys and the Righteous at TNA Slammiversary. So the announcer says he's been told that Mike Santana is making his way to the Impact Zone for the last segment of the night. So we're back on commercial. We see the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana make his way through the fans for the second time tonight. Mike Santana gets to the ring, gets on the microphone. He says, "What's good, Denver?" He says he isn't wasting no more time because the people want to see a fight, and that is what he is going to bring. He said he wants Nick Nemeth to bring his ass out here right now. Nick Nemeth's music plays on him, but it's not Nick that comes out. It is his brother Ryan Nemeth who appears. He says everyone knows that his brother is the best wrestler in the world. He is the next TNA World Champion. With fans calling Nick Nemeth something else, the B word. Mike Santana says, actually, your big brother is a B word. Ryan Nemeth then said, you take that back. Fans begin to laugh at Ryan Nemeth. So he says he won't talk until they shut the hell up. He talks anyway. And he says his brother will be the next world champion. Then the fans start to chant, he's a B word. Then we get Nick Nemeth comes out. Nick Nemeth says, look at your face. Talking to Mike Santana. He said, you're too emotional. He said, the fans feed off of you. He said, I will give you credit. You have made the most of your 15 minutes. You have had one hell of a year. He said, you should get a sticker for that, but you are on borrowed time, kid. He said, you can call him whatever you want, but at Slammiversary, you will call him champion. Fans still trying to year a B. Oh my God, my phone didn't mess up. Sorry guys, right at the end too. We'll get there. What the weather's so bad here. Trying to get through this, guys. Hopefully it's better tomorrow. Don't know if it will be or not. So after that, the chant from the fans continued. The "You're a B word" to Nick Nemeth. Mike Santana says, "From look at things, you're still standing on the top of that ramp, not stepping into this ring, so I can whoop your ass in front of all these great people. So that still makes you what?" And fans chant a B. He said he rests his case, so he said he will see. He tells Nick he will see him at Slammiversary, and he's going to rip his head off. He will spin the block, and he will be still your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Mike Santana showed off his title. Nick Nemeth promotions. He is going to win the title. With that, the show comes to a close. And once again, like I said, at the beginning of the stream, on the Go Home show next Thursday, live here on the show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, I will go over the rundown of TNA next week. It will be the Go Home show right before TNA Slammiversary. I will go through the entire match card for TNA Slammiversary next Sunday, live at 4 p.m. Eastern. Or the pre-show is at 3 p.m. Eastern, with the main card starting at 4 p.m. Eastern from Boston, Massachusetts. So we are done, guys. This has been your TNA Impact Recap Show live here on the EVP Show, Thursday, June 18th, 2026. Been a busy week. I enjoyed my day off yesterday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your day off as well. We are live here on the EVP Show on YouTube. If you are watching live on YouTube, or you're able to go back and watch this live on YouTube, please hit that like button. Helps me out on the stream, the algorithm, all of that good stuff. Also, we're live on my X page, and we're also live on DWE Television X page. You've seen it earlier. Not even great. Make sure you follow DWE Television on X, and I will give you a list of everyone affiliated with DWE Television. So you can follow them, whether it's on Twitter, X, whatever you guys call it. All the YouTube pages and Twitch as well. Miami the Great would be the first one. He was live earlier, and he's always live on Tuesdays and Thursdays for Inside the Mile with Miami at 6 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune into that. He was live earlier. The replay is on DW Television or DW Replays page as well. Make sure you follow Miami the Great and his co-host partner, Final Boss Baby with 2 B's. You can follow both of them on X and Talk It Up podcast as well on YouTube. Every Saturday they do DW Radio, sometimes 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern. It's also live on Twitch at DW Radio, DW Television, DW TV, DW Television on Twitch, and it's also on Spotify. Every Monday, an hour before Monday Night Raw. Follow World of Greg and Kyle the Man Anthony as they will every Monday, an hour before Monday Night Raw. You can catch the rundown. They will run down the entire card, go over everything that's going to transpire, and give their analysis on what they think is going to happen on Monday Night Raw. It's always an hour before. I believe it'll be early this week because they are in London at the O2 Arena. I believe at 2 p.m. Eastern is the show. So that means they will be live at 1 p.m. Eastern. Also on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Kyle the Man Anthony will bring you the Queens of WWE, where he will go over everything that's going on in the women's division on WWE, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Also, you can follow Director Reg on X, as well as After Slam Podcast on X and on YouTube, Smoke Session Podcast, and the Sports Jedi Network, who had Atlanta Black on last night. A huge interview. Good to see someone get a big, huge interview like that. Atlanta Black is huge. So I enjoyed listening to that. Make sure you follow them on X and hit that like and subscribe button to them on YouTube as well. That being said, guys, I will be back shortly to tell you guys where you can find me on my socials, what I have coming up for you guys for the rest of this weekend and for next week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, Show Recap Prediction Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the TNA Impact Recap Show live here on the EVP Show, Thursday, June the 18th, 2026. As far as where you can find me on my socials, it is across the bottom of the screen down there in the white letters. But you can find me on X at EVP2JP. Once you follow me on X, you go all the way up to the top of my X page. You will be able to find my YouTube link. My YouTube pinned at the very top. If you hit that retweet button, share it with your friends and family. If you enjoy my daily wrestling content, I'm sure they will too. Let me get to at least 300. Hopefully, we'll see. I haven't been putting a lot of work into it, but I'm definitely going to get better once the 1st of July gets here. I'm working on something to try to get more subscribers. I'm at 228. Ultimate goal is 500. That's going to be kind of out of range, but we will do what we can do. So please follow me on X. You can find me on Instagram at EVP2JP as well. Where you can find all my videos at Miami the Greg and the World of Greg made for my upcoming streams. Also on TikTok at Brady the Goat 21. Once again, that's at Brady BRADY DA Goat 21. Where you will find all my videos as well. My Instagram and my TikTok, my YouTube page is in the bio of my Instagram and my TikTok page. Last but not least, most importantly, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are watching live on YouTube tonight, or if you're able to go back and watch the live stream tonight, please leave a comment. Tell me what you guys thought of TNA Impact tonight, as we are a little over a week from TNA's anniversary. If you can't find my YouTube channel on any of my social media platforms, you go to the search bar in the top right hand corner and type in at the EVP show. Once again, thank you guys for 228 subscribers. I have over 970 live videos, plenty of YouTube shorts, and a couple pre-recorded. And I believe I am at over 400,000 views on the channel, and the channel's not even a year old yet. So thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate you guys so much. With that being said, guys, what I have coming up for the rest of this week, tomorrow night I'm back. We only have 2 more SmackDowns at 3 hours until January. So tomorrow night I'm back at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the SmackDown recap show. Saturday I'm off. Then you can join me Sunday again for doubleheader Sunday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Sunday night speech with the EVP. And then come back later that night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the LFG Season 3 Episode 9 recap show. Monday, Raw is on early. We'll be live from the O2 Arena in London at 2 p.m. Eastern on Netflix Monday. So I will go live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time Monday for the Raw recap show. Tuesday night, it is the go home show before NXT Great American Bash. You can catch me Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT recap show. Wednesday, it's a big show as we will be predicting AEW Forbidden Door, NXT Great American Bash, and WWE Night of Champions Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday night, here again. It is the go home TNA Impact before TNA's anniversary. You can catch me live Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday night, I'm back again at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap show. Saturday, next Saturday, a week from this Saturday, I'm back at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the WWE Night of Champions recap show. And then next Sunday, there will not be a Sunday night speak on the 28th. But you can tune in live Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Great American Bash recap show. 7-day week coming up next week. So turn that notification bell on. If you are subscribed, it will notify you when I go live. A lot of stuff coming up next week with the Trifecta Wednesday. Coming up Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, where we all, panel of 10, will be predicting the WWE Night of Champions PLE, NXT Great American Bash, and the AEW Forbidden Door prediction show live here on the EVP show. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the TNA Impact Show, Thursday, June the 18th, 2026. You guys set the reminder to come back and join me tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your SmackDown recap show. Thank you guys again. I am the EVP from the EVP show, the golden boy of WWE. WWE is the only place to be. Good night, everyone. See you guys back tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the SmackDown recap show. Good night, everyone.